Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lomzy. I'm back again with another video. Today's sewing tutorial is how to make a Victorian corset. Some subscribers requested I make this video for them, and guys, I will tell you guys honestly, this video is beginner friendly. Victorian corset is direct opposite of bra cupped corset, guys. Whereas bra cupped corset needs a lot of contouring, this one doesn't need that contouring because it just needs everywhere to be tight, something like that. So guys, I'm feeling myself. You guys, you have no idea. Your girl is making her baby face. I'm shy. Okay guys, let's go on with today's sewing tutorial. I'll be starting by making the back panel first. So here I have my pattern paper. Let me walk you through the lines I have already here. From here to here is the armhole line, this is the waistline, and the final one is the hip line. With the armhole length I used is 9 inches and the waistline I used is 17.5 inches, and then the hip line that I use is 25 inches, which is the full length of this pattern paper. Let me make these lines visible because as I can see it's very faint, so let me just use my marker and make them visible. So here is the armhole line, next is the waistline, and then the final one is the hip line. Next I'll be marking the shoulder width. From here to here I'll be getting the shoulder width. So the shoulder width, my normal shoulder width is 7.5 inches, but I'm going to be making it 6.5 inches. So I'm going to mark that here and then connect it to the armhole line. I'll go ahead and square this line out. Next, on the armhole line, I'm going to be dividing the bust divided by 4, which is 9.5 inches in my own case. So I'm going to mark that here. Next is on the waistline, same thing, waistline divided by 4 in my own case is 9 inches. I'm going to mark that here, and I'll be connecting these two lines. Next, to get the armhole curve, I'm going to bring down the shoulder sloping by 1.5 inches. I don't really need that, but I will do it to get the armhole curve. So from here I came down 1.5 inches, and I will divide this by 2 from there to the armhole line, which is 7.5. I will divide that by 2, and then I'll come in at this point that I've divided in by 1/2 inch, and I will connect these lines to make the armhole curve. Next, I'll be marking the length of the neckline. I'll come down here by 7 inches for the neckline, length of the neckline. I'll mark that and square that out. This is the only area we'll be working on. We don't need this side, so I'm going to shift this and come over to the hip line. So on the hip line, I'm going to divide the hip line by 2. I don't really need it, but it's just for me to get the line here. So I'm going to divide the hip by 4. Whatever I get, I will mark it here, and I will try to connect it, but I'm not going to make it full. Just watch what I'm going to do. I won't be coming down full. I'll just come down by like 1.5 inches. That's all I need. It's just for me to get that shape. So now that I have this, I will be working from there. From here to here, I'm going to be getting 1.5 inches, and on the back, center back, I'm going to get 1 inch, which is 1 inch, as you can see, and I'll connect these lines together. So I'll mark this here and I'll connect it. You can connect it with your curve, or you can use a freehand, whichever that will give you the perfect line that you want. I think I'll just go ahead and use my freehand and do that. So this is all we need for the Victorian corset. I'm just going to go ahead. Remember, this is the center back, so I will go ahead and cut this pattern out. Next, I'm going to trace this out. The back panel, I'm going to trace it out for me to use it for the back, for the front panel. But for now, I'm just going to trace this out and keep it aside and continue with the back. So here is it after tracing it. I'll just set it aside and continue with the back so that we get the back lacing and eyelet and whatever. So here I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches. This 1.5 inches is for you to be able to close your lacing, the back lacing. Next, I'm going to fold this line in. I just don't want it to be in the way so that it doesn't distract you. So I'm going to fold it in like this, and also so that I'll still have my pattern paper still intact. So I'm going to fold it in and start marking for the eyelet casing, in case you want to use eyelets, or else you can decide not to use eyelets. But I'm going to just walk you through. Now this is now the new center back. So here we are going to be getting 2 inches here, and we are going to be dividing them like so. I will tell you what to do next. Next, I'm going to measure out 1/2 inch, and that will be for the boning casing. So I'll go ahead and mark 1/2 inch here and square that up and down. Next, I'll make another line for the eyelet. Now the eyelet measures 0.75, but I'm going to make that 1 inch just to give it room for me to add the eyelet. So I'll mark this here and square it up and down. I'll go ahead and mark another 1/2 inch for the boning channel. Now in total we'll be having 2 inches. This is actually if you want an eyelet casing. So now this will be for the eyelet channels. I'll just write it here, and this would be the other panel for the back bodies. So you trace these two out. So now this will be the 2 back panels, but if you don't want eyelet covers, you can actually decide to make this a whole piece. So I'll set this aside and we'll go over to the front. Now remember the front that we traced out, that's what we are going to be using now. So here on the hip line, remember this place is the hip line, I'm going to just make a curve to make a basque waistline here. Just, you can use your curved ruler to do this, or you do it a freehand, anything you feel like doing. For me, I'm going to be using this to mark this, but it's not as curved as I want to, so let me just use my freehand and draw the curve the silhouette that I like. I'm just going to cancel this because I'm not using this line, so use the inner line. Now I will make boning channels for this. It depends on the design you want. This is dependent on the design you want. So I'm just going to mark my lines to make the boning channels that I'm using. So here I'm just guessing and marking my line, but I made a mistake. I marked this line on the waistline. I'm actually supposed to mark that on the hip line. So just go ahead. It's just dependent on how you want your channels to look like. So be playful here. Like I said, I made a mistake and marked that line on the waistline, so I'm going to correct it and mark it on the hip line. So I'm going to mark it here and connect that line. I hope this line doesn't distract us. Let me just mark another one and clean off that one. So I'm going to mark another line here. Actually, after marking these lines, I made a mistake. I'll clean this off. I'm supposed to make a line that will start from the armhole actually, but it's okay. It finally came out nice, but next time I'm going to correct that. So I'm just going to mark this here. That's why I say it depends on the style line that you want. And then I mark a final one on the armhole. So just be creative here. Next, I'm going to bring down the armhole. Guys, I didn't want to come down low because I just don't want YouTube's wahala. So I just came down by 1 inch. Else I should have come down by like 2 inches, but I don't know if the cleavage will be too much for YouTube to give me a strike, so I don't need that. So I'm just coming down by 1 inch here. You just go ahead and be creative here and check out the length that you want, how much cleavage you want for yourself. Maybe next time if I try this one, nothing happens, I'll bring it lower like the one on the thumbnail. Now guys, this is where we're going to be working now. Next one thing we have to do is to get the under bust line. So remember, this line is the armhole line, which is 9 inches. I'm going to place my tape there and get the under bust line, which is 14 inches. I'm going to mark this here and square it out. So now on this under bust line, I'm going to be making that width of ½ inch, not on this first one. From here, these two, these three, or these two, any one you choose. I'm going to be making ½ inch that on all the lines on these lines. So just go ahead. If you're a plus size, your bust is bigger, you can make it bigger than that, but mine, I don't have bust guys, so I'm going to be making mine ½ inch. So I'll just mark this so that you know the places that I am taking off. So you're just going to go ahead and trace off all these lines. Remember, this is 1, 2. Yes. Oh, I made a mistake. I told you guys, these channels, they are too much. So I labeled this 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's just 1, 3. It's just, there's just 4 pieces, not 5. I made a mistake. So guys, my eye, they told me. So okay guys, I'm going to cut this out and we have the front panel ready. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, guys, subscribe. We are at 15,000, guys. Let's push this further. Let's push this further. I hope on you to push this further. Let's win together. Remember, your comments, your like, your sharing this video will make YouTube know that people actually like this. This is just the first basic support you can give to your girl. So just go ahead and like this video, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and your baby girl will be up to 100,000 in no time. So guys, this is the back panel and the front panel. They are ready. In the next tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to sew this. But for today, guys, we have come to the end of today's video. I will see you on my next one. Bye bye.